Hi, everyone. I'm Indy Young, and I'm encouraging organizations to formalize a space for strategy. We all are working in an area where we have design and development at its basic roots, and those two things are connected to one another. In fact, they work together in such a way that I'm going to put sort of like a belt around them, and that belt is moving in cycles back and forth between design and development. Now, yes, it's a little bit more complicated. Both design and development have subsections within them that sort of also spin and cycle within themselves, such as ideation and prototyping and validation might cycle back and forth within itself before moving over to development and sprints. So this is just a little way of showing that this whole thing works kind of like a machine. And that machine generally within each org has a person in charge of it. That person is kind of driving it down the road, so to speak. So I've got this track that goes around the two wheels looking like a track layer, and this looks kind of like a tractor with a driver on top. It's even yellow. So one of the things that happens is that person follows a map, a road map, and they're moving this machine down the road. As they're doing that, they are using some bright lights to help them see what's going on. Those two bright lights are attached to the machine, aimed at these wheels that are spinning. The first bright light is generative research. That's helping us understand what are we making in design and iterating on that. The second bright light is evaluative research, which shines both on design and development to try to understand how well prototypes are working for someone or how the results of our sprint are working for people. So we've got this big tractor with these bright lights. It's moving down a road in the solution space toward a checkpoint. And we can all agree on this. Now, the point of this video is not the solution space, but a strategy space. The question that it comes from is like, where does this roadmap have its roots? And where are the customers in this picture? So it varies by org. The roadmap comes from a lot of different places. You might have board members, you might have consultants, you might have executives with ideas. There might be new technology that came out or something the competition did. You might have a strategic committee. You might be in a situation where you have a plan, but it keeps getting rewritten. So the point is that what every org wants is a lasting plan, some sort of structure that can last for decades, but is also flexible to change with changing conditions. So in this image of the machine with the bright lights and the driver going down the road in the solution space, we now have added a strategy space, and it's represented by a table full of people having discussion. Now, it's not just people. There are other things contextually influencing what's going on, such as economic events, or maybe some sort of a crisis, or some sort of a war or a cultural movement. That all definitely influences the people. It's just not a part of this picture. Because what I want to do is formalize this idea of having a strategy space, formalize it in terms of what's going on and what feeds it. Where is this knowledge coming from? How is that roadmap being made? So what I have on the screen now is knowledge that is created by research of a specific kind, strategic research, or it's also called foundational research. Now, strategic or foundational research is distinct from market research, which answers the question of how orgs understand how people relate to their solutions. It's also distinct from tactical user experience research, which finds out problems in the solutions and figures out how to fix those problems in the solutions. It also generates ideas. So back to what I'm talking about here is strategic research, and it's represented in a long-term way by using thinking styles and cognitive representation, a mental model skyline of what's going through people's minds as they're addressing some intention that they are trying to get done, some purpose of theirs. It isn't representing the use of your solution. So this is strategic knowledge. It lasts for decades. And what we can do is we can layer more data on top of this, such as some of the tactical UX data or some of your big data, and measure as we're going, how well are we doing for each of these thinking styles in every section of this skyline. So the whole picture also shows that the road goes a long ways and it winds and it has several checkpoints on it. These checkpoints are ways to tie what we're building with that machine to the skyline. So you're seeing each checkpoint making more data, testing what we're doing compared to how people are thinking, and making sure that we're filling in the gaps. So this is what I mean by having a formal strategy space.